Uh, well, hey, Orpheus! Shut. Whoa! Whoa! Are you Orpheus?
Yes, I am Orpheus. Do you want to know my story?
Yes, I want to know your story.
Then take this book. Here. Take this book, and you will know my story. The story of Orpheus and Eurydice. It was the perfect wedding, the guests thought. The groom was Orpheus, the greatest of all poets and musicians. Then bride Eurydice, a wood nymph. Anyone could tell the couple was truly and deeply in love. Suddenly, Eurydice stumbled and fell to the ground. By the time Orpheus reached her side, she was dead, and the snake that had bitten her was slithering away through the grass. Following Eurydice's funeral, Orpheus was overcome with a grief the human world could not contain, and so he decided he would journey to the land of the dead, a place from which no living creature had ever returned to rescue his beloved. When Orpheus reached the gate of the underworld, he began to strum his lyre. The music was so beautiful that Cerberus, the three-headed dog who guards the dead, lay down as Orpheus passed. When Orpheus entered the palace of Hades and Persephone, the king and queen of the dead, he began to sing. He sang of his love for Eurydice, and said she had been taken away too soon. The day would come when she, like all the living creatures, dwelled in the land of the dead for all eternity. So couldn't Hades grant her just for a few more years on earth? Hades and Persephone granted Orpheus' plea, but on one condition. As he climbed back out of the underworld, he must not turn around to see if Eurydice was following behind him, and if he did, he would return to the land of the dead forever. Orpheus began to climb. With each step, he worried more and more about whether Eurydice was behind him. He heard nothing. Where were her footsteps? Finally, just before he stepped out of the underworld and into the bright light of the day, he gave into temptation. Eurydice fell back to the underworld. Orpheus tried to return to the underworld, but was refused entry. Separated from Eurydice, Orpheus swore never to love another woman again. Instead, he sat in a grove of trees and sang songs of lovers. For some, however, poetry was not enough. A group of wild women, called the Maenads, could not bear the thought that a poet who sang so beautifully of love would not love them. Their jealousy drove them to a frenzy, and they destroyed poor Orpheus. The birds, nature's singers, mourned Orpheus, as did the rivers who made music as they babbled. The world had lost two beautiful souls. Orpheus and Eurydice had loved each other so deeply that when they were separated, Orpheus had understood the pain and joys of lovers everywhere, and a new art form, the love poem, was born.
What's up, kids? You want to hear one more story? Alright, here's the tragic story of Sakes and Alcyone. Let's go.
Ceyx ruled over Thessaly, and he was a good ruler. The king was married with Alcyone, his beloved and devoted wife. Ceyx started to believe that his kingdom no longer counted with the gods' benevolence, and therefore he made the decision to travel to the Oracle of Delphi looking for some answers. Knowing her husband's plan, Alcyone experienced an ominous sign and begged him to renounce his idea, or at least to take her with him. But Ceyx didn't mind his wife's pleas. although he didn't want to leave his beloved partner behind, and he promised to Alcyone that he would be back in 2 weeks at most. The king embarked and waved at his beloved wife, who, with teary eyes, waved back. Initially, the journey was quiet, but the weather quickly shifted, and the sailors were hit by a powerful storm. Drake's vessel was swallowed by the tides, and the king was engulfed by the sea along with his ship. His last thought was her wife. Alcyone spent every day praying to the gods for a safe return of his husband, unaware of the tragedy that struck him. Alcyone prayed even more and making offerings especially to the goddess Hera, which is the protective goddess of marriages and couples. The goddess witnessing the queen's grief due to her missing husband, the goddess decided to act. Hera called the goddess Iris, her faithful messenger, and ordered her to meet Morpheus, the god of dreams. She wanted to have him convey her messages. As the dream, Iris stepped into the dark cave where the god of dreams slept. The brightness of the goddess colored rainbow lights woke up the god, and after delivering the message, the goddess went away. Hypnos, the god of sleep, ordered his son Morpheus to shape himself like Ceyx and visit Alcyone in her dreams. Fulfilling Hera's command, Morpheus visited Alcyone. And there, Morpheus disguised himself as Ceyx and visited Alcyone in her dream. I come to reveal my sad fate. I went overboard, and my life was prematurely interrupted. Weep and mourn from me, because I will not come back to life to fulfill my promise. Alcyone threw herself at the ghost's feet and pleaded him not to go away, and when she tried to grab his legs, he vanished. And so the queen woke up from her dream and was sure that her husband would never make it back. Alcyone went to the beach, the same place where she had seen her beloved man for the last time. That's when she spotted a floating body, and Alcyone immediately recognized Ceyx. Desperate, she jumped into the sea to reach her husband. Instead of drowning into the water, the queen turned into a beautiful bird, but even as a bird, she still wept for the loss of her love. Then she flew up to kiss her husband's body. Ceyx then reborn as a bird as well, and together the couple of birds conquered the air. From that day, once a year, for 7 days, the Greek seas calmed down, a sign that Alcyone and Ceyx are returning to hatch their eggs.
Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more videos.